feel amazing. I like my voice. You can tell I was celebrating like crazy. I've been waiting 18 years for this moment. 18 years, since 2006. And we finally did it. Messi won the World Cup. I'm a retired football fan. But it was crazy. Like, it's a beautiful moment. I feel good. I feel fulfilled. Thank you, God. We won on Sunday, the day he rested. So, yeah, vamos a Argentina. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know that my voice sounds a little like bad right now. It sounds like I lost my voice, which I actually did, and I'm sorry about that because yes, I have celebrated. Yes, I was screaming. Yes, I was cheering. And yes, I was like, no, this can't be happening because this game was a world of emotions. This game had everything. The world was watching, and there was at one point there were doubts on whether Argentina were going to be able to come out with the win. There was a moment of confidence that yes, Argentina were going to come out with a win. Yes, everything went up and down. It was a roller coaster of a match. This game has ended with Argentina winning the World Cup, something that we have been wanting to see for so many years. But again, it came with a cost. It came with our stress. It came with all of that, right? Because we needed to suffer in order for us to get this win. But at the end of the day, we have gotten that. We have won. Lionel Messi has finally gotten this World Cup, and this is a moment for us, my friends, to finally enjoy, for us to rest and say, this player here, Lionel Messi, who has been playing for Barcelona for 20 years, who has been representing Argentina for 20 years, he finally has a World Cup trophy in his disposal. He can finally say, I'm going to retire from the international team with a World Cup. And that's crazy because we thought, we knew, like, there were so many times in the past 15 years when we thought that, okay, Messi's probably never going to win a World Cup, but in our own eyes, he is going to be the greatest that has ever existed. But that did not end up happening. We have been gifted with this moment to say that Messi is going to end up winning this World Cup eventually. Right? And it ended up happening because of what Scaloni has done with Argentina, because of what they have been doing and building in the past 4 years. And now they are rejoicing. And it's a moment because, again, like, right now, I did not plan this video. I'm just kind of giving out my emotions, what I think about this whole thing. It's crazy to see that even in the dying moments of somebody's career, there's still a chance that they could win something as great as this. Like when a player is 35 years old, they're like, okay, they're finished, they're done, they're not going to partake in anything special. But not with Messi. Messi's 35 years old and he's still claiming the highest rewards there is in football. You win the World Cup, you win the best player of the tournament. That's crazy at the age of 35 years old. So again, it was probably one of the best finals that we have seen in so many years. Like, if you were to combine all Champions League finals, all World Cup finals that has happened in the past 40 years, even though I know that the Champions League did not exist until like 20 years ago, but still, you amount to all of the finals together that has ever existed in the world of football, international level and in the club level, this has probably been one of the best finals, if not the best final that we have seen. It was crazy. So we first started with Argentina winning 2-0, and we're like, okay, Argentina got it in the bag. France really did mess up in the first 45 minutes. This is it, right? Argentina is going to win 2-0 on the 90th minute, and we're going to go on, and Messi is going to lift that trophy. Great. But that did not end up happening. You and me saw everything play out in the worst way possible. Right? So we saw Messi get the penalty. He scored. It was 1-0. Di Maria also scored a golazo. We saw a beautiful counterattack by Argentina. Messi making that pass to, I believe it was DePaul, and then DePaul passed it to McAllister. McAllister made that cross into the box. Di Maria scores the goal. A beautiful counterattack by Argentina that we only thought France could do, but Argentina did it. Right? So we're like, great. This is a great, confident Argentina performance. They're probably going to hold France down. There's just no way. Because we saw France by the 45th minute, not have a single shot against the goalkeeper. Not a single shot against the goalkeeper. It's surprising because you compare the quality of France and you compare the quality of Argentina, you would assume it was the reverse. Argentina not having a single shot against the goalkeeper. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the story. France were the ones suffering. Argentina was a team prospering. So we go into the second half and we're like, okay, cool. Like still 2-0, like great vibes, right? It's still happy. We're all freaking tweeting. We're all like posting pictures that it's over. But then the moment came, right? And I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like Kylian Mbappe came on after doing nothing for the first 75 minutes. Doing nothing for the first 75 minutes. We're like, Kylian Mbappe is ghosting. He's not doing anything. This is all messy. Again, like this was the story. This was the way that we saw the game. So Kylian Mbappe came in and he scored a goal. He scored a penalty. And we're like, oh my God, like it's 2-1. Like we just need 10 minutes. Like we just need to hold it down. We need to bring the Argentinian spirit. Let's do it for Diego Armando Maradona. But then Kylian Mbappe ended up scoring another golazo like two to 3 minutes later, or like a minute later against Argentina. And we're like, there's no way. There's no way this game is going to end like the way Argentina and the Netherlands ended that one game where Argentina were winning 2-0. They blew the 2-0 lead and they went to extra time and they went to penalties. The same thing happened with France. And we're like, God damn, like the reason why I'm explaining all of this is because I want you guys to understand the roller coaster that was going on here. We were winning 2-0. Kylian Mbappe scored 2 goals within a span of 3 minutes. And we're like, there's no way we're going to go to extra time. There's no way France are going to make it, maybe potentially 3-2 before the 90th minute. That is what we felt. So it was, again, a roller coaster of a match. So we went into extra time, right? And we're like, okay, like, we just have to hold down France. France look way more powerful. We have to defend for our lives. So we go into extra time, right? And then we saw Messi score a goal, the third goal for Argentina, and we were going wild. We thought that it was offside. Like there was like this controversial call, like when Messi scored that goal and one of the players kicked it out, we had to see if that goal was even valid. So it was messing with our emotions. We're like, okay, what offside? What are you talking about? Or are you tripping about the ball, whether it went inside the goal or not? Like there were so many questions, but we were celebrating at the end of the day because we knew that everything was corrected. There was no player offside. The ball went inside the net. Get over with it. So Argentina were winning 3-2. So again, we're like, okay, great, right? We're winning 3-2. Everything's good. Just another moment in this game where we have the lead. We were dying to just see Argentina defend for their lives. Like, just maintain this 3-2 lead and let's get it over with. Like, we don't want to see anything else, right? We were all suffering. And then a couple of minutes later, obviously, Kylian Mbappe received a penalty. He got that penalty. He scored the goal. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like, can football get any more worse than this? Like, it was exciting for the average football fan, right? The people who just are neutral. This was a great game. But for us, we were suffering. We're like, it's 3-3 and we're probably going to go to the penalties and we're going to suffer even more. So it ended up being 3-3. We went into penalties. France, basically they choked. We saw when I can't recall. I don't remember exactly who missed the penalties, but you guys can correct me whenever you guys want. But yeah, France missed 2 penalties in total, which in the end ended up with Argentina winning in penalties 4-2. Because again, France missed 2 penalties and we're like, oh my God, finally. And then from there, Argentina were able to celebrate. We won through penalties. And again, it was just, we won, but at a cost, right? We lost so many years of our lives watching this game. This game probably would have turned out a lot different if Deschamps had a better approach on how he was going to be starting the first 45 minutes, because you and me knew it was so clear that France did not have the correct tactics. They did not have the correct lineups. Like, for example, France started with Kylian Mbappe on the left, Oliver Giroud as the striker, and Dembele on the right wing with Rabiot, Tchouameni, and Griezmann in the midfield. Now, you may ask, okay, Kevin, these are quality players. What are you talking about? What was the mistake in this? Well, here's the thing. France found it extremely hard to counterattack Argentina. And for one reason. That is because Oliver Giroud was not capable of counterattacking at all. And they had to find a way to get up there. The only outlet that they had, and they have always shown throughout this tournament for France, was Kylian Mbappe to take the ball or to receive a long ball, kick it, make that long ball, and have Kylian Mbappe receive it. That was their only outlet. Dembele, he couldn't really do anything because the players like Alister and Tagliafico had him tapped out. And so, because we only had one outlet, the players that were able to also tap out Kylian Mbappe and really good was De Paul and Molina. So we saw many times Argentina leaving Oliver Giroud by himself because they knew that he couldn't really do anything. So when Argentina had the ball in France half and France were looking for that counterattack, they left only Oliver Giroud available. But every time he had the ball, France could not move forward. And so they were stagnant in a way. And so that is the reason on why we saw Deschamps say, you know what, this is not working. We can't get into Argentina's half and create our chances. We had not a single shot against Argentina in the first 45 minutes. We need to do something. So this is the reason why we saw Oliver Giroud come out so early in the game before the halftime. Is because he knew that he needed to make a change. He needed players that had pace, players that had 1v1 ability, because it just wasn't working. And so we saw Deschamps put in someone like Mauni. I believe that was the player, Mauni, and we saw Thuram and Mauni. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing these names correctly. These are brand new players who are phenomenal players. They're great backups to what Deschamps were trying to do, and it worked. So we saw those two players come in. Everything changed. That the dynamic of France. We saw much more emphasis on the wings because they were allowed to, because they had the pace. They had the ability to go on a 1v1, which made the job for Argentina harder. But they capitalized, right? So this is the good thing about Scaloni's Argentina. They're like, okay, this starting 11, they can't really do anything. We know exactly what we need to do. Kylian Mbappe has to like drop his position down because he needs to help defensively, and so we have everything tapped in. Everything's tapped in. They're tapped out, right? So when they saw that France were very just one-dimensional, because they knew that the only player that can get them up was Kylian Mbappe, they took advantage of that when France were trying to go up there and they were trying to do something. That is where Argentina were able to take the ball away from one of the midfielders, one of the forwards, and then counterattack, and that's how they were able to find those opportunities and score those 2 goals. So it was brilliant from Scaloni to be able to make decisions like this, right? Because we knew that Deschamps really just wanted Kylian Mbappe to move the ball forward and then have Oliver Giroud go into the box and look for those crosses from either Kylian Mbappe or Dembele. But again, Argentina did not allow that because of their phenomenal defensive performance. They played as a real unit. They came with 110%, and you just felt their pressure. You felt their intensity. So those were the things that really did hurt France, for them to like basically do nothing and waste those first 45 minutes, and Argentina took advantage of that, right? But obviously France grew into the game. They had to make some tactical tweaks, make some different changes, which allowed France to see those 2 goals in the second half. And again, like, it was just a very tactical game. The second half was much more France. Argentina took care of the first 45 minutes, and then we went to extra time. And I believe that many of the players were tired. They were like we can't even go into the 108th minute. They had a very low energy. You can just really feel that. And so again, Scaloni planned everything perfectly. Like he did not even waste subs in the first 90 minutes. He was able to make substitutions in the extra time by putting in players like Lautaro Martinez, Dybala. He put Paredes in there, and they kind of refreshed Argentina as a whole to be able to handle France accordingly. And so I do want to talk about the individual awards that some of these players have won. Like, for example, we have Kylian Mbappe, who has won the Golden Boot award. Yes, he has scored more goals than Lionel Messi. By the end of this match, Kylian Mbappe was able to receive 3 goals, a hat-trick, which is crazy. A hat-trick against Argentina, and it's really, I would say, deserved for Kylian Mbappe to receive an award like this, the Golden Boot. Obviously, I don't really care about the Golden Boot. I wanted Messi to win the World Cup, so it doesn't really matter. But I think that with someone like Kylian Mbappe, he deserves it. He had a great World Cup. He will come back with vengeance in 2026, and so props to him. Fair game. Kylian Mbappe really gave Argentina a huge headache by scoring those 2 goals in the second half, so completely deserved. He had a great World Cup. Emiliano Martinez was able to win the goalkeeper of the tournament award. I think that also for him, it was so deserved. He saved Argentina so many times. I told you guys already that the way that this game has panned out between France and Argentina, the same thing happened with the Netherlands and Argentina. And this goalkeeper here, this amazing goalkeeper, was able to save Argentina in those penalty occasions and just blocking those shots. Blocking those penalty shots and blocking all of those shots that could have ended up in goal. Like, remember what happened. I think it was I don't know if it was in like the last few minutes of the extra time or the last few minutes of the 90 minutes. But there was a moment where one of the forwards of France almost made it, almost made a goal that could have knocked out Argentina. But this goalkeeper here, Martinez was able to block that shot. I don't remember when that was. It was just, I think it was the last 5 or the last minute of extra time. I don't remember. I really don't remember. But he made a crucial save. And then we do have the best young player of the tournament being Enzo Fernandez, a player that I highly admire so much. He has played a phenomenal campaign. His value has only skyrocketed. Keep in mind that this guy's value has increased to 120 million euros in terms of the release clause. And so if FC Barcelona wants to grab this player, which has been a player that Barcelona has been following since that goal against Mexico, he's going to be very expensive, but I think that he's worth it. He's a great central defensive midfielder that can really aspire to be one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world in about 1 to 2 years, right? Not too long from now. So he had a great World Cup. And then obviously you have just Messi winning that World Cup, and it feels so good because we saw Messi try through so many occasions to win this World Cup. Try winning, like overall, just win an international trophy with Argentina. I remember 2010 when I was little. I was watching Argentina versus Mexico. Argentina versus Mexico. They won against Mexico. I think it ended 2-1 or 3-1. And I'm like, okay, great. This, I was following Messi by that time, and I'm like, this guy here, he's young, he's 23. He can possibly win the World Cup in 2010. But it did not end up happening because Germany were able to knock out Argentina in the next round in the quarterfinals 4-0. And we're like, okay, fine. Messi has so many years left. He has about 15 years left of football. We'll get it next time, right? I was young. I was like, I think in 2010, I was 12 or 11 years old. And so I knew even at that age that Messi is going to have so many more different occasions to win the World Cup. So we fast forward to 2014, right? And I'm like, this is it. This is it, right? This Argentina team looks more inspiring. They look much more of a unit. Yes, it did take time for them to really take off in that tournament because I remember they were barely beating teams 2-1 or 1-0 or maybe like 3-2 or like things like that, right? They were barely beating teams, but they were getting the job done, and Messi was a huge protagonist in that 2014 World Cup. I think that one of the players that were able to carry Argentina to that final was Mascherano and Messi. Those two players were phenomenal in that tournament of the 2014 World Cup. And I'm like, Messi finally has it. He has this chance. He can do it. He's being a protagonist. The players are going to back him up. And so we went into that game in the final between Argentina and Germany, and it was a very even game. But up until like the extra time, we saw Mario Götze, a player that we don't even talk about today, score that goal, and he basically became famous for nothing. He scored that goal, took that World Cup away from Argentina in that final, and I'm just like, damn it, like this is probably the closest Messi's ever gonna get to win the World Cup. When are we ever gonna see a better team than this with Mascherano, with Messi, with Otamendi, with we saw Di Maria and so many other players, and I'm like, we're never, with Romero also, and I'm like, we're never gonna see a better team like this. This is probably the closest we're ever gonna see Messi ever even see the World Cup. And I'm like, okay, like he's still 26 years old or 27. He has more time. We got this, right? Maybe the 2018 World Cup, we have another chance. He'll be more experienced. He'll know what it's like to get to the final. No problem. So we went into the 2018 World Cup, and it only got even worse because that 2018 World Cup, like that Argentina team, it wasn't a unit. It wasn't a team that can defend the shirt. Like every time they played against one of the teams in that 2018 World Cup, you didn't feel confident. You didn't feel confident with that back line, especially when they lost against Croatia in the group stages 3-0. And I'm like, what is this? This is not what Argentina is. This is not the same Argentina team that we saw back in 2014. They don't look like they want to fight. They don't look hungry. We saw how when Argentina were singing their anthem, everybody had their heads down. Messi looked stressed out when they were playing against France. Like when they were singing the anthem, Messi was looking down. He just looked stressed, and he's like, I don't have a good feeling about this. I don't feel like we're prepared. I don't feel like we're prepared to take down this France super team. And so there was a lot of unconfidence everywhere within this team, and that's why they lost 4-3. It wasn't a bad score, but it wasn't good. It really wasn't good. And they were out in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals. I don't remember in that 2018 World Cup, but you just felt like it was the end at that time. I think for many of us, it felt like it was the end for Messi to win the World Cup with Argentina. At that time, he was 30, 31 years old. I'm like, ah, man, like, Messi will be 34, 35. He's probably not even going to want to play by that time. He'll be tired. He's probably only going to be focusing on FC Barcelona, winning Champions Leagues. It's over, right? But, within that time span between 2018 and today, Messi has not really dropped his level. I would say that he has changed his style, the way that he does play, but he never dropped his effectiveness on the pitch. He continues to be extremely effective. He continues to adjust his game to have more longevity. Even until today, until like what we see today, we can say that I think Messi has about 2 or 3 more years to perform at a high level. Right? So throughout those, like that time span between 2018 and 2022, we're like, okay, Messi doesn't look like he's going to be dropping his level. He looks okay. He looks like he can still give it for Argentina. And I remember back in 2019, about a few months later, after that 2018 World Cup was over, Scaloni took over, and you felt like there was something different being built there, right? It was a young coach, but a young coach with ideas, a coach that wasn't afraid to change the way the starting 11 looked. Like look at what the starting 11 that we have put out in this World Cup of 2022. He was very comfortable on taking down Sergio Aguero throughout this process. He was okay with taking out Di Maria. He has introduced Enzo Martinez. He has introduced Julian Alvarez. He has introduced so many young players. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he has so many young players from this team. He has introduced DePaul. He was able to introduce Mac Allister. He was able to introduce Romero, Molina, many young players, and with little hints of the veteran players like Otamendi, Messi, Di Maria. But you can just tell that this coach, even from 2019, that he was here to rebuild Argentina into a winning team, into a unit. And that is why we saw Argentina win this World Cup today, is because it was a refreshed Argentina, a team that was hungry, a team that understood what they needed to do defensively, right? They were so committed, they were determined to win and to bring back the glory to Argentina. They knew that they had to run for Messi. Like, yes, Messi had to adjust his game, but that also meant that the other players had to die for the shirt, to bleed for the shirt, to get the ball back as soon as possible and bring the ball back to Messi. Because Messi was not the Messi that we saw back in 2014 or 2010. They knew that Messi was a player that could not really run, could not really pressure, but every time he had the ball, he knew exactly what to do and where the players had to position themselves in order for Messi to maximize himself and really be effective and produce for Argentina. Scaloni knew this. He knew this. He knew that that Messi had more years in him, but he had to adjust the team around Messi in a way where Argentina can be a unit and for Messi to feel the most comfortable in. He was able to find that formula, and that is why Argentina were able to produce that perfect formula to win the World Cup and to take down a super team like France with Tchouaméni, with Dembélé, with Kylian Mbappe, with Rabiot, with Griezmann. Griezmann was one of the best players in this World Cup, and they tapped him out with Koundé, with Varane, with Upamecano. It's crazy, right? So it's a fairy tale ending with a lot of ups and downs, with a lot of analyzing of what went wrong, what went right, what do we have to do in this 22 World Cup tournament and in this final to really win, with a Lionel Messi that was aging but was still very effective. And so again, I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to see Messi win this World Cup. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but when one of the I honestly do not know what these people are called. Excuse me, I really don't know. But he basically gave Messi this black cloak. I'm very sorry that I'm not really familiar with what these people wear, but but the main reason why I'm bringing this up is because he actually looked pretty dope. He looked cool with that black cloak around his shirt and being able to lift the World Cup. He looked pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, what are you doing? You want to block his shirt while lifting the World Cup? Like, what's going on here? But it looked cool because it was see-through, and you can still see that he was wearing the Argentina shirt, and he really looked cool. Like, he looked like he was the king of that moment there. So it was a dope setup. Really cool. I can't wait to see the HD pictures of this, and we can see Messi kissing that World Cup, just saying that it's his. And everybody was excited when he kissed that World Cup. The fans were cheering. They were like, wow, this is amazing. This is a moment. And he was able to celebrate with his kids. We saw the coach Scaloni just breaking down in tears, just saying, no way, we did it. We finally did it. After so many years, we finally won the World Cup. And it was emotional for everybody. And it was a lot of fun. And again, like, I'm sorry that I lost my voice. I know I don't sound so good or podcast ready, but again, when I tell you, I was screaming and I was cheering and I was like, no, this can't be happening. And I was like, yes, we're finally gonna go and win this World Cup. I was really loud, so excuse me, guys. It's just a moment for us to rejoice. And thank you for this. Thank you for football. Thank you for everything. I think that this is gonna be a moment for us to really be inspired to believe, right? To whatever you guys are doing and trying to achieve in life. Maybe not just like to win like games or win tournaments or win trophies, but if you ever feel like things feel impossible in life and you feel like it's not achievable and you feel like you want to give up, just think about what Messi has done in his career. He could have given up. He could have said, this is not achievable, it's impossible, I've tried already 3 to 4 times, but he still gave out 100% of himself and was still able to say, I'm still going to be 100% committed. I'm still going to try because I know that it is possible. So I want you guys to take this type of lesson and apply it to your lives, whatever it may be. I don't know what goals you guys are trying to achieve career-wise, relationship-wise, financially. Take this story and apply it to your lives and never give up, guys. Never give up. Achieve what you guys want to achieve. And enjoy the whole moment of this because life is beautiful. Life is beautiful and life will give you what you deserve for never giving up, for always giving out, that hard work every day. So that's it, guys. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. And let's now focus on Barcelona. We're going back to the season. Let's finish the second half of the season. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys.